And we're live, and I'm going to put this into tripod so it's not all wibbly wobbly. Is that actually a word? Wibbly wobbly? Get on Urban Dictionary, look it up. If not, add it to Urban Dictionary and credit me.
Probably 2 words.
No, it's probably hyphenated.
Cattywampus.
Cattywampus, that's a word. Wibbly wobbly is my word.
Weebles wobble,
Weebles wobble?
but they don't fall down.
Dude, Weebles were, oh my God, you dated yourself. Did you have a Weeble as a kid?
No, they released them again in like early 2000s.
Oh.
I didn't know they were.
Yeah, Weebles were great for, we were talking about Weebles, the Weebles that wobble, but they don't fall down. Hello, happy birthday to me, everybody. Wait, no, that's not right. They're saying happy birthday, and I'm like, out of habit, I'm like, happy birthday to you too. Thank you, everybody. So we're talking about Weebles, as in Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. And you had one as a kid because they were re-released?
No, my kid.
Oh, you got one for your kid. Yeah. Now, did he just like beat the crap out of it and like with anger? Because that's what they were for.
No, they were tiny. What are you talking about?
Weebles? No, kid, that's different than Weebles. The Weebles that I grew up with, they were like the same height as you. And you like punch them in the face and they go, and they come back up. Basically, you get pissed off. No, you're pissed off at your brother, you're pissed off at your sister, you're pissed off at something because you're 7 years old. And a Weeble allowed you to punch something in the face, but it didn't break. It like came back and so you could punch it again.
No, okay, so Fisher Price made Weebles and they're like...
They were little? Okay, no, those aren't Weebles. I'm going to show you a video. Hello, everybody. Sorry, we're having a very important philosophical discussion about the merit of the Weeble. And yeah, exactly. There was sand in the bottom. They were like magic. And but you have one of those at your office. That's beautiful. That's good. You should have one at the office. You know, it's like telling a little boy not to hit. Like, they need to learn not to hit other kids. But there's this thing that little boys have in them that just want to, like, do something physical. But you can't do it to other people or things, except things that are meant to be hit. Like Weebles. Like, every kid should have a Weeble. Okay, we're over it. Ha! Hello, everybody, by the way. Let's see, Weebles, punching bags, Weeble. Oh, you don't have the Weeble wobbles. Happy birthday, Ron. Happy birthday. Let me see who's messaged. This is so great. Everybody got 67 people here on my birthday. Gyro Nation. Ooh, that's a good one. Human being. I got a human being in my room. All right. They had a Weeble Wobble circus back in the day. As long as there are no Weeble Wobble clowns, because clowns are evil. We, in fact, me and Adriana bonded over our mutual hatred of clowns. So, right?
Yeah.
Is it more hatred or fear? A little bit of both.
Well, I hate them because I'm afraid of them.
Okay, Adriana hates clowns because she's afraid of them.
Because I don't hate French clowns or...
No. Hey, what's up, Gyro Nation? Hello, Drew from my class. Hello. Hello, Adam, Barnett, and Dylan. Hello, everybody. Ooh, boss man, I like that. So, hey, am I going for an ace today?
Is that because he throws?
There's not even I'm in a country that doesn't have a permanent disc golf course. So, we're working on it. I mean, well, when I say we, the Serbian Disc Golf Club is working on it. Oh my God, this is an amazing town. I mean, amazing country. Like, we had such a great time in Romania, and now we're here in Serbia, and Serbia is amazing. We were in Belgrade, and God, that town is just awesome, right?
I liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot too.
It has a really great vibe.
It has a great vibe, young, like, too many attractive people though. I felt very insecure. Right?
It had like
beautiful people.
Around, like, it was just a really...
It was just, yeah, no, it's just alive.
Yeah.
The downtown area of Belgrade, Serbia, is as alive as any place that we've ever been. But I am, again, a little bit kind of pissed off at how attractive everybody was. I felt like...
Is it because there was tall men?
No, it's because, like, I was about to say I'm 53. I'm 54 now. And here's the thing. Like everybody's a number. Sorry, this is not really okay. You millennials might get triggered by this, so cover your ears for a minute. But we all have a number. We're a 6, we're an 8, we're a 3. But it's relative to where you are. So there are countries out there. Hey, what's up, Randy? There are countries out there where I'm like a strong 7. Even at my age, like I'm not bad. But there's also places where I become like a 3, and I think Belgrade was one of those. Like when I'm in Norway, I'm like a 2.
I think with the height advantage,
The height advantage.
Never really under 5. Like that's impossible.
Okay, yeah. So maybe I'm a 5. It's also got to be relative for your age too, which is like
a lot of really tall people.
There were tall people.
I did not.
No, and they were in, like, most of them were like, I mean, compared to other countries, that people were in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
People were fit and pretty healthy. Yeah, we loved Serbia. Hello, I got all the happy birthdays coming in. Thank you guys so much. That means the world to me. I wanted to see everybody today so badly. Hello, Felicia. How are you? Thank you very much. And by the way, sorry if I'm missing people. They're coming in so fast. I'm going to miss. Holy cow. So let's get to it. Let's talk the World Championships. What do you think?
There's the World Championships?
Yeah, World Championships are coming up. Let's start in FPO. Who do we think is going to win FPO? I don't know. I don't even know. Like, it's kind of hard to. There's someone from the Estonian girl. She's playing really well.
Oh yeah.
What's her name? Kristen Tatar. Kristen Tatar. I'm gonna go Kristen Tatar at Worlds. Although, as soon as I say this, in case any other FPO players are listening, I mean, this is a season, well, every season more so, where anybody can win. Like, everybody out there can win. So this is not like obviously Kristen's the favorite. I'm not breaking any new ground here. But there are 20 women that could win that could win the tournament, could win Worlds, and you're not that surprised. So Kristen's the nod, but God, there's so many people playing well. Let's talk about MPO, because MPO, I want to ask you guys' opinion on this. Okay, so you have to pick which of these groups does the winner come from. Okay. And you have to bet you have to take out a third mortgage on your house. Everything you own, you have to bet on where the winner is going to come from. You have a pool of Paul, Ricky, Calvin, Simon, and Eagle. Okay, the 5 best players out there. Oh, I'll even throw Gannon in. And Gannon. You get all 6 of those players, or you can choose the rest of the field. Who do you choose? Because it was only a couple of years ago, if you said Paul and Ricky versus the field, you would have probably taken the Paul and Ricky versus the field. Now, I don't know. Who do you guys? I mean, no. Which of these pools? You take Pool A, those 6 players. Hello, Chris Light. I left out Gannon. No, put Gannon in that group. Let's hear some feedback. Who do you take? Gannon, Burt? No. I'm saying if you had to pick, the winner's going to come from this pool of Paul, Ricky, Calvin, Eagle, Simon, and Gannon, or would it come from the pool that includes the rest of the field? Which person? Which pool do you pick from? Still taking Pool A, everybody's going with Pool A. You know, I mean, you might be right mathematically, but it's like right now, there's 50 players in MPO that could win that aren't in that Pool A.
There's no one named Robinson in that Pool A.
There's no one named Robinson in the Pool A. No one named Ellis in Pool A. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. Vinny, Paul. Vinny number 1, Paul number 2, 3 Eagle. It's going to be interesting because that wooded course up there, holy cow. I mean, Dickerson's got a great shot at that course. Who are the heavy hitters in Pool B? Everyone else except me. I won't be there. But it just tells you how much depth there is now that's even a discussion. Glenn Whitlock at 99-1. Yes, Glenn Whitlock for the win. Hey, y'all want to hear a funny story? I'm going to tell you the story of the first player to go on tour. If you read my book, you've heard this story. Pool B, Greg Barsby, great pick. The first player to go on tour. We heard about this. This was in the late 80s. So probably 5 years before anybody else. Glenn Whitlock from Canada was the first player to tour. He went on I mean, by the way, tour back then, there was like 5 tournaments in the whole country that weekend. So you might not have a tournament within 500 miles of the previous weekend, and it might be a tiny tournament. But Glenn traveled around the country, played disc golf for a living first. Now, how did Glenn do it? I'm going to tell you. Glenn had 2 things that allowed him to do it. First, Glenn, who is, by the way, like 5'7", 120 pounds, and I'm barely exaggerating, Glenn was a professional eater. All right. Before Kobayashi got famous for eating hot dogs, Glenn would do eating competitions and would gamble on eating. And he could eat more than any other person any of us ever saw. Now, as soon as you go, oh, you haven't met my friend Charlie, he can put away the pizzas or something like that. That's just the exact same thing as when someone says, oh, you think you're good at disc golf? Oh, I got my friend Dave who's really good with disc golf. And you're like, you don't understand what like a professional is compared to someone who's like my buddy's good at this thing. That's the same thing with Glenn. No exaggeration. Swear to God. Anybody, Randy Lom's in here, he's seen it. Anybody that's old timers, we've all seen this. Glenn had a rule. He would only eat at all-you-can-eat restaurants that cost less than $1 per plate of food. Now, that's important because if there was only one type of food, like a pizza buffet or a pasta buffet, he could only eat 6 or 7 plates of food. Plates. So the meal would have to cost like $5 or $6 for all you can eat. For it to be less than $1 a plate. But if if it was a big buffet with a lot of variety of different types of food, Glenn could eat 9 or 10 plates of food. He would eat for 2 hours straight. So if he could get back in the 80s, an $8.99 all you can eat buffet, he could eat 10 plates of food and not eat for 2 days. That's the first thing Glenn did. Because remember back then, first place tournaments was like $120. And third place might be $30, and it cost $20 to enter. Second thing that Glenn did is he never drove. He would basically hitchhike from tournament to tournament with his golf bag. If there was somebody at a tournament that lived in the direction of the next tournament, he could ride with them and stay with them. But if not, he would hitchhike and just stay with people he met on the road. So that's what Glenn did. But Glenn was the first person to tour. All right. Let's see. Did anybody have any? Yeah, Glenn was legendary, man. Glenn was an absolute legend, and he was the first person to tour. I call touring not like a vacation, save up the money, hit the road for 4 weeks or something like that. I call it touring when this is your job. And Glenn he probably made $100 a week on average, but that was enough with between hitchhiking and being a professional eater. That was enough to make a living playing nothing but Frisbee golf. So Glenn's a legend. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, hey, let me go ahead and plug something. I know it's my birthday. I'm going to try to sell you something. A couple things, y'all. I have, and I'm starting to do this, but the first ones are coming up in less than a month. I have 2 multi-day disc golf training retreats in Edinburgh, Scotland. This is just like the seminars that I've done hundreds of all over the U.S., my full-day seminars, except these are multi-day seminars, which means we can cover a lot more one-on-one attention. So the one in Edinburgh, Scotland, there's 2 weekends. It's actually a 3-day weekend. But on Friday, we're going to just golf and go to the Edinburgh Castle. The training is going to be Saturday and Sunday. And it's going to be everything that I cover in my seminars, except it's going to be covering more because we'll golf each day. So not just throwing technique, we're also going to be able to work on strategy, disc selection, course management, things like that, but also all the intense backhand sidearm putting, utility shots, as always. I'm also limiting these seminars because it's a big, you got to buy a plane ticket, fly to Scotland for it. So instead of limiting these to 6 people, we're going to do 4 people to make sure everybody that comes gets all the one-on-one attention that they need. There's there's nothing like this in the sport. You come out to the training seminar, you're going to leave way better at disc golf than when you got there. So message me if you're interested. Oh, no way. I got a birthday. Someone who said that. Oh, hey, thank you. That's so sweet from the Kowloon clan. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. So the other thing is that I'm doing my, I also have my online class. Something that I'm doing a little differently is that I'm now offering group rates. So if you have a group of 3, a group of 6, or a group of 10, message me and we can lower the price. It's not even that expensive now. It's $50 a month if you're just one person, but we can get down to like half that, which is like, that's really cheap considering what these classes are. Final thing, and then I'll get back to talking fun stuff. The online class, it's not just videos and drills to work on. It's an interactive class. You're going to be participating on the Discord server. You're going to be uploading videos with an unlimited number of professional form reviews. So part of the class is when you're being given the steps to work on, you can upload a video, and if you're not doing it right, you're going to get corrected until you learn to do it right. Unlimited, because we all learn at different speeds. So message me for information about that, especially if you have a group of 3 or 6 or 10, we're going to have group discounts. All right. God, I probably missed so many messages. Thank you so much. I'm going to go read these all later. Thank you, everybody, for all the messages. Does anybody have any questions? Let's see. Oh, there we go. Hey, happy birthday, Scott Stokely. Hope you have an amazing and blessed day. Oh, did I just hit that button? I think I did. Oh, ha. I just put someone on the screen. Oh, no. Hey, where'd it go? Let's see. Hey, Scott, do you think a distance of 350 feet at 60 years old is mighty fine? My dad disappointed at himself because he can't throw a disc 600 feet. You know, I never like to, honestly, like, I'm not trying to dodge your question, but I never like to quantify a number with how far should you be throwing, how far. There's a range of distances based on a person's physical ability. Like he's older. Well, is he tall? Is he athletic? Is he still limber? Did he play sports his whole life, or is this the first time he's taken up a sport? And then people have fast twitch and slow twitch muscles, so you can't quantify how far you should throw. Having said that, 350 feet at 60 years old is great. Like you can throw farther than that. You're not going to throw 600 feet at 60. I don't believe. I'm not going to. So maybe someone throws way farther than me, but I'm not going to throw that far when I'm 60. But I'm still going to be 1,000 rated because it's, distance is just part of the game. Let's see. I wish I could throw 350. Then take my class. Sign up for my online class. Message me or sign up. And remember our group discounts. Groups of 3, 6, or 10 will give you a discount. Just contact me or come to Scotland for the training retreat in a couple weeks. Especially if you're in Europe. There's no excuse if you're not in Europe. It's like a $99 or €99 plane ticket. Like it's so. I had no idea, but it can be so cheap to fly around Europe. You can get on a plane in this country and fly to that country for like $60. It's crazy. Let's see. You still need to teach me here and teach me how to throw sidearm stuff. Hey, was getting him to tell him to sign up his dad for your class. Yes, sign up your dad for the class. That's it. I mean, I more than likely you can throw farther than you're throwing now, unless your technique is perfect, which most people's aren't. Then the class is going to make you better. Period. All right. How about some me trying to sell you stuff questions? Any questions? I can't. Alles Gute zum Gettysburg aus Hamburg. I'm coming to Hamburg, I think, right? Look forward to seeing me at USDGC. I'm not going to USDGC. I'm going to be over here at I'm running my multi-day training retreats in Scotland for a few weeks after running some events at Ollie Disc Golf Center. Well, actually, here's what I'm doing first. Check this out. Oh my God. in about a week, I'm going to Germany. We're doing a documentary about me and about disc golf in Germany. I was in Germany 25 years ago, and the sport has not progressed there the way they would have hoped it has. So some players in Germany reached out to me and said they want to do a documentary about me coming back to Germany and going, what the hell's going on, people? Why is there not disc golf happening here like it should be? So we're doing a documentary in Germany. Then I'm going to Alla Disc Golf Center in Sweden to run some events, do some clinics. I'm running a Berg only tournament and a Berg distance challenge. Thank you, Costaplast. And then from there, we're going to Edinburgh, Scotland, and then I'm going to Spain for the championship tournaments. Let's see. Okay, so and then after that, I think we're maybe Egypt. I'm not sure. Ron says, how many countries have I been to on just this trip? In the last year, we've been to 35 countries on this trip. I've only been to a couple more besides that. So this trip is pretty much most of the places I've been. Let's see. 10 times out of 10, 10 plus 4 equals 2. Tell me why this is true. 10 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, 10 plus 4 equals 2. Tell me why this is true. Damn you. Post the answer. I don't know. And if I miss it, repost it. It's hard to keep up. What's my favorite hobby disc golf related? My favorite hobby that's not disc golf related. This is a PG show. So I decline to answer. No. So aside from the obvious, my favorite hobby is backcountry camping, traveling, but getting out to the backcountry. What we like to do is put on backpacks, disappear into the wilderness. Not surviving off the land, and when we pack in food and we bring a water filter to filter water, but no campgrounds, no other people, but just places like deserts, forests, mountains. We've been to all of them where we just put on backpacks and we disappear into the wilderness, and you don't see another person for the whole time you're out there. And like, I love nature. Everyone kind of loves nature to some degree, especially if you disc golf, you probably love nature, but there's something different about actually getting away from all the people. There's nothing like that. In fact, this is something that I think everybody should pursue and at least try. Again, you pack your food in. It's not like you're, having to like hunt and, for the food or something like that. I mean, you bring a tent, but if you get away from all humans in nature, it's a whole different world. That's my favorite thing. That's my happy place. What's my favorite course in Sweden? I only played a couple courses, and I love the course in Borås, and I love the course in Skellefteå, but it's Alla Disc Golf Center. That is the white courses. Well, actually, all 3 courses are great, but Alla Disc Golf Center, I think it's rated number 6 in the world right now on UDisc still. It's a special place. All these courses are special. I don't want to say they're not. But I have a connection now to Alla Disc Golf Center. They are turning this into what will be what I believe anyways, will be the #1 disc golf destination spot in all of Europe. Maybe even the world someday, because there's multiple courses and there's so many things they're installing and building, and I can't share any of those because that's their job to announce those when the time is right. But I know what their plans are, and it's so special now. The courses are so good. There's all these great facilities, pro shop, driving range, putting. I mean, it's fantastic, but it's getting better. It's going to be magic. So I'll have to go Alla Disc Golf Center. What kind of disc would you recommend a new player for throwing forehands? Oh, I have to tell you, there's no such thing as a sidearm disc. All right, all a sidearm is the method of reversing the spin on the disc. And every disc that you throw backhand, when you throw sidearm properly, should have a mirror image opposite flight. You don't have a disc to learn sidearm any more than you have a backhand disc. Now, as far as learning, The easiest disc to throw, easiest disc to start throwing sidearm is going to be something with a high fade, because if you don't get the throw right, it still turns the opposite the direction of how a backhand fades, which is when you would choose to use the sidearm. If you're right-handed, you're going to use it when you're throwing shots that turn right, but it's a shortcut. Very quickly, once you learn to throw, which you can do with my online class or come to Scotland in a few weeks, then every disc in your bag is backhand and sidearm. So there's no such thing as a sidearm disc. And don't, like I said, what's your sidearm disc is the exact same question as if somebody said to you, what's your backhand disc? You know, when you throw backhand in disc golf, which disc do you throw? And the answer is I have a whole range of discs for all the different backhand shots, where there's an identical number of sidearm shots. So every disc in your bag is for both. What's the best moment I've ever had in disc golf? See, I should say that the skins shot, because that was such a very special moment. There's a documentary out called Not Just a Shot. If you go to notjustashot.com, you can actually download the documentary. But I'm going to get sappy here for just a minute. But I think the most important moment for me, the best moment for me in disc golf was when I was, I think, 11 years old. And I just moved to a new neighborhood. My dad had passed away a couple years ago. I didn't know anybody. I moved to a rich kid's neighborhood, but across the street was a park and where all the poor people were. So I felt more at home there. But I didn't know anybody. I didn't have any friends in the town. And I went and I was playing Frisbee golf every single day. And this guy with long red hair, a big bushy red mustache, came up to me and introduced himself as Bruce Sisson, the president of the Oak Grove Gophers. And I was using just plastic Frisbees from my garage. He gave me a couple of golf Frisbees, Whammo Midnight Flyers, and said, hey, we got a club here called the Oak Grove Gophers. Rich, I can kind of turn this here. This is why I got a tattoo of the Oak Grove Gophers on my arm. The Oak Grove Gophers Club, and that's when I got to meet all the people that became my best friends and my world, and all my father figures came from there. Had Bruce not approached me that day and introduced himself, I may have kept playing, but I was 11 years old. Who's to say I wouldn't have discovered another game, or I was like, who knows what would have happened in my life had that moment not happened. But that was by far that might be the most important moment of my life, or at least certainly one of them. Kind of a sappy answer, but true. I have a class in Rock Hill Monday, October 9th, right? Yeah, so that's not me teaching it. That is Tyler Wozniak is teaching that class. He is one of the people that is teaching seminars for me using the Stokely method. Remember, the Stokely method isn't a different method of throwing. We all agree on how to throw, but it's the process, the step-by-step process to get to throw correctly. So he's doing the seminar down there. He's great, though. He's been on the Pro Tour. Everyone loves him. There's reviews up all over the place. Am I going to try the Voss when it comes out? I don't know what the Voss is, so I'll say yes. I just want to let you know that you're an inspiration for me and many others. Thank you so much. That was not my intention when I started touring, and it's funny because I totally understand it. I embrace it, and I'm honored by it. And I shouldn't have been surprised by it, but when I decided to go on the Disc Golf Pro Tour last year, and it's funny, there's actually a post Up Down podcast, which works with Stat Mando, showed my progress over the last 2 years. Because 2 years ago, basically today, I was 984 rated, and I'm 52 years old, and I'm going to go on the Pro Tour. I'm going to train, and I'm going to dedicate myself to the game. And I went out, and I'm now 1,017 rated. My rating's been going up basically steady and consistently for the past 2 years, from age 52 to 54, which can happen if you start playing at 51, but that doesn't typically ever happen if you've been playing for like 30, 40 years at that point. and I shouldn't be surprised by this, but it's turned out that I have connected to an older audience that is following what I do, and like I get it, because I'm older and I am doing things that are hard, and I think impressive. And so I've gone from like, wow, this is great. I'm attracting this new audience to like, these are my people now. You like I want everybody to follow me. I want to inspire you. I want to show you what's possible. Like you're 50, I'm 54 years old. I'm not ready to fucking die. I'm not ready to sit on a porch. I'm not ready to just spend my life binge watching Netflix shows. And like the level that you can get to in life when you're older might not be the level when you were younger. Like, I mean, I plan on winning the Open Pro World still, but I might not. Doesn't matter. So my line is, I finished top 20 at an Elite Series event, and I cashed on the DGPT tour, and I had a podium finish on the Euro Tour. And then in a couple of years, maybe what I'm trying to achieve is lower. It doesn't matter. What matters is it's what I'm able to do when I'm older. I'm going after something, and then I want everybody to go after something too. All of you, you're not ready to die yet. If you're older, don't listen to your brain. Your brain's gonna lie to you. All right, forehand upshot through the woods match. Damn, huh? Very bright, Guar. Happy birthday, Scott. You're my favorite golfer. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. 54 looks good on you. Thank you. Any scary moments backpacking? I'll tell you a funny story. But first, I'll say when you say I 54 looks good on me, this is something I figured out. Is that when you're like, I probably past the age of 50, maybe in the 40s, but definitely at 54, every single compliment you give me, I don't care what it is, ends with for your age. Like, man, Scott, you throw really far for your age, or you're looking really good. I mean, for your age, it doesn't matter. Wow, I got told by Adriana today because I'm learning Japanese on Duolingo. Did you or did you not tell me? Right? Literally today, I was doing this lightning round where you try to you have 2 minutes to get as many right as possible, and you need 20 to get the whatever. And I couldn't get past 16, and she's like, "But 16 is really good for your age."
You have very fast memory recall.
Yeah, she says I have great memory recall for my age. Yeah, scary moments backpacking. Yeah, I'll give you one. So the first time I ever went backpacking, I was with my ex Lacey, and she had done it before, and she took me out, and it was we went hiking up into Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado, and I had never actually gone into the wilderness before. And it's amazing how scary it actually is. I mean, we were only a few miles from civilization, not that far. Like, you feel really helpless. Like, no matter where you are in the world, there's always a neighbor close by, or a telephone, or if you're on the side of the road, there's cars going by, but you don't realize until you actually get away from people. Like, it's scary at first, for sure. Not anymore, but it was. And so we go up there camping, and we see, it's really cool. We saw a couple moose. They were really far away. They were up to half of their bodies were water in like a lake, but they were standing there. We watched them for a while. It was amazing to see moose in the wild. And moose are huge, by the way. They're monsters. Anyways, so we see the moose, and then eventually we kind of, after a while, they were still there. We left, went back to our tent. So that night, we're in the tent, and all of a sudden you hear ka-plop, ka-plop, ka-plop outside the tent. And we know it, we immediately guessed that it was probably the moose we saw earlier that day. Except when you're miles from civilization and there's some gigantic something walking near the tent, it's terrifying. It's still scary. And you could see the moonlight, and you could through the tent, it's a really thin light tent because it's a backcountry tent. You could kind of see the outline of something. And next thing I know, the moose puts his nose up against the tent and pushes its nose probably 2 feet like from the side of the tent, it pushes it, and the tent forms around the head of the moose, and so you can kind of see the snout of the moose pushing into the tent, which was a little bit less scary because now we know it's the moose outside, not a monster. By the way, moose, like, they think they kill more people than bears, actually, but they just still don't seem as scary. But the moose was there. But I mean, me at the time, I was, I said it's not scary. At the time, I was freaked out. And then the moose went out, and I'm like laying there. And next thing you know, the moose pushes its head against the tent a little bit lower, and it bumps into mine. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. I got head butted by a moose, not hard, but the moose actually went boom against my head. And then we heard it clop, clop, clop off. We never actually saw them because by the time we opened our tent, they were gone. So it was terrifying, even though in hindsight probably wasn't dangerous. Yeah, that happens in the wilderness. If you put up a tent in in downtown Baltimore and you hear footsteps outside the tent, it's a lot scarier. Iceland sounds like the country for you. 80 courses are just saying, I want to go to Iceland. It's in Shenzhen, which means it'll cut into my visa time in the summer. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm trying to do some things to be able to stay in Europe longer. See, distance drops away. Happy birthday, brother. No, I told you that they love you today. There ain't nothing to do about it. Thank you. What time are you? 4-hour round, your tea time. Let's see. What time will it be after your 4-hour round if your tea time's at 10? Oh, got it. Pete. What do you think is going to take Worlds this year, male and female? Get up to Canada soon. Yeah, I'm going to go. Look, I like, this is not a big stretch. I'm going to go Kristen Tatar. Obviously, it's like she's the pick. I think oh God, how do you pick against Paul? I'm sorry, like, it's just one of those things. How do you pick against Paul Macbeth? But that's such a easy answer. I'm going Calvin. I'm going to say this is going to be Calvin's time. I think Calvin's going to win a world title. So if it's not this year, it'll be a future year. But I'm going Calvin. Happy birthday. I'm an amputee from a few podcasts back, but going to be doing a journey video soon. Turn 54. Thank you. I love it. Keep the content coming and tag me on it. Does that mean I'm not getting enough snap? Yeah, you probably have more spin on the backhand, even if you don't know. No, the question was, I get more spin on the sidearm than the backhand. Probably not the case. There's a product called Game Proofer that I've just partnered with out here in Finland that'll tell you the spin of the disc, but almost positive your backhand's getting more spin. Thanks. Can you compare the U.S. difficulty to courses and European courses? Yeah, the courses out here are really, really, really great and hard. They got such great terrain. They are as hard as the U.S. courses. The Disc Golf Pro Tour and the Euro Tour courses are fairly comparable. They don't have the big ball golf courses out here. So as far as a pure distance course, at least on the tournaments I played, that's not the case. There was only one course, Konopista in the Czech Republic, that was really a slam dunk. You got to have power for this course. And the only reason why, it was a beautiful course, it was a great course, but there wasn't a lot of trouble off the fairway, and it was super long. So you could just basically step up to every tee pad and throw with abandon. And if you had power, you're going to have a much shorter approach shot than someone without power. On a technical course like the other courses, there's OB everywhere. There are tricky shots, tricky lines, landing zones on the par fours. It helps to throw far, but it was not the most critical thing. So that's probably the biggest difference. They don't have the big giant ball golf, 12,000 foot. Well, just the courses I played weren't that course where you just, like, if you didn't throw 600 or 700 feet, you're just out of luck. They're good though. The courses are great. 32 with no prior injuries, looking into a good putter. Should I try a burger, get used to more regular putters? Okay, so there's no such thing as a wrong putter. Putters are always individual. This is why no one hires me to, I'm a terrible spokesperson for disc companies, because there's any putter could be the good putter. If it's a putter and it feels good in your hand and works for you, that's your putter. Having said that, I would try one of the other Kastaplast putters instead of the Berg. just because the Berg, since it's not beveled, doesn't glide as much, which means you have to force the putt a little bit harder. The more you put into it, the more likely you're going to pull it. And I think it's like I lean against that as your baseline putter. Doesn't mean you can't be a great putter with the Berg, but I would go with a beveled disc. Student in that class, strong advocate, people to learn from an actual touring pro. Yeah, for sure. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's also great. Can I borrow your phone for a minute? Brian Mace, can I borrow your phone for a minute? I'm going to tell the story of why Brian Mace wanted to borrow my phone. So a couple years ago, I guess it was probably like 6 or 7 years ago, I got on this kick where whenever I was at big tournaments, what I would do is I would walk up to, I don't know, Eagle McMahon, Ricky Wysocki, it doesn't matter who it was. Like any top pro I could find, I would walk up to on my phone, and then I'd be like, right when I got next to, like, say, Eagle, I'd be like, darn it. Oh, shoot. My phone died. Oh, Eagle, can I please borrow your phone for a second? I'm sorry. I just need it for a second. It's a really important business, blah, blah, blah. And of course, Eagle, Ricky, whoever, like, sure, they'd hand me their phone. And so I'll just be a second. And then I would turn my back to him and kind of like walk away. And as soon as I walked away with, like, say, Eagle's phone, I log on to Facebook as Eagle. And then I write a post on Facebook as Eagle on Eagle's Facebook page that says, oh my God, I've just met the greatest disc golfer I've ever known. Scott Stokely is by far the best disc golfer I've ever seen play the game. He's so much better than Paul McBeth. He throws farther. He's the greatest putter. And then I'd always write something about how beautiful I was. So, like, but the most special thing about him isn't just how great he is at disc golf, but his eyes. His eyes are so beautiful. I'm lost in those baby blue eyes of his. I'm sorry, I'm shaking right now. I can't believe I just met Scott Stokely. And then I would post, and then I'd close Facebook and hand the phone back to Eagle. And yeah, I did that for a summer to a lot of people. And it was funny every time, to me. Everyone needs to order my book. Thank you, Amy. Yeah, you can order my book at Scott Stokely. ScottStokely.net. You can order my book or my audiobook, my autobiography, Growing Up Disc Golf. I'm very proud of it. It's very good. Have I ever had a student that was unteachable? Old disc golfer here. Old disc golfer here with bad habits. No matter how many videos I watch, I cannot break them. Okay, so the answer is, I'll give you the answer in two parts. Number one, take my online class. I don't put out fires. If you have a bad habit, I don't correct that bad habit. That doesn't work, at least not according to my method. When someone does something wrong and you correct that thing they're doing wrong, it reminds me of the old Bugs Bunny cartoon where Elmer Fudd, I think, had the bump on his head. And then when you push the bump down, the other bump pops up, and you push that bump, another bump pops up. When you correct something on your form, something else automatically must break because you've changed something. I'm not saying automatically, but usually that's the case. It's not an effective way of doing it, number one. Number two, trying to fix it yourself, you're probably not qualified to fix it yourself. I mean, if you're not a professional disc golf teacher, why would you think that you could, like, if you couldn't correct somebody else, like, why could you correct you? It's very hard to self-assess and correct yourself, no matter, even if you are a teacher. The online class, that is ScottStokely.net, and remember, groups of 3, 6, or 10. There's a discount. Message me for details. But with the online class, you're going to be uploading an unlimited number of form reviews. That's the big thing here, is that you're going to get video feedback from the trainers back and forth constantly. You're not going to get a bunch of videos and be expected to, like, coach yourself. You will be getting professional coaching from, I have 3 trainers that have been with me more than a year who are unbelievable. I'm also there as well, but these 3, they're so good. Now, have I ever had a student that was unteachable? No, I haven't had a student that was unteachable. I have worked with players who are older who are going to pick up things slower, and I mean, and everyone, it's like it's always going to be frustrating. I don't care if you're 20 or 80. If you're not learning as fast as you want, or there's always going to be some frustration with that. There's got to be like some level of realism when you're older. Are you going to pick things up at the rate you want? So it's not that you're unteachable, but depending on you, I don't know anything about you, but depending on you, you may learn faster or slower. So that's the only thing. Like set realistic expectations. If I was better at marketing myself, I would just lie to you. But that's bullshit. You got to set realistic expectations, and my job as a teacher is to exceed those expectations. So no, there's no such thing as unteachable. Take my online class, or come to Scotland in 3 weeks and do my multi-day training retreat. Just message me for details. Let's see. My second favorite is the Albatross, and the third is the Holy Shot. Thank you so much. That's Skins forehand. By the way, hey, what's up, Bodek? Let's see. All you've done to continue to do for the sport, we're lucky to have you. Thank you. Boss is new from Castle Plastic. You probably know that. By the way, I'm having to scroll through a whole bunch of stuff. Age is just a number. Thank you. Or in my case, a high number. And you've been a fan since you rode me down to the Whammo factory back in the old days. 6 hours of story time. Thank you, sir. Brian Gass signed up for the first Scotland session. Hope you can get this 70-70 rated player. Oh my God, 770 rated. You're going to be blown away how much, like, this is going to be so easy. Is this definitely happening? Is it safe to book my flight? Of course, 100% absolutely happening. I've already got my flight and my hotel booked. So yes, of course it is. Jesse met me at Pawpaw. Pawpaw was so great. Been a fan of yours since you're a teenager in your 40s. Have another birthday. Thank you. Always enjoyed. Sorry, I'm just trying to scroll through a bunch of things quick. What's up, Oak Grove, Russ Hamilton? I want to see the moose. Great shooting is your plural, meese. Happy birthday from Finland. I love Finland. Happy birthday. Thank you, Joe Rosino. Let's see. Ever write another book? Because you're very well spoken for your age. I have my other book. The first draft is kind of basically done, but that means we're still a year out. And I said that a year ago because I've been so busy. Yeah, the next phase of my book is coming out. I plan on my book being a trilogy, and I'm in the process of writing the Empire Strikes Back. The really deep, kind of heady part of the story that doesn't necessarily have the happiest like themes to it, but it's the most intelligent version of my story. So yes, I am writing. Calvin, you got it, Calvin. Am I going to Greenland soon to play the first 3 courses? Wait, what? There's courses in Greenland?
You know that.
Oh my God. Yes, I'm going to go to Greenland, and I'm going to tell everybody I'm in Antarctica, and I'm going to take it to my grave. Shit, I should have said that out loud. Okay. Of course I'll go to Greenland. I'm going to go everywhere.
It's Greenland and Shenzhen.
Scott, why is World to what?
It's Greenland and Shenzhen.
I don't know. We'll have to see if Greenland's in Shenzhen. Why is World a single tournament instead of a playoff championship like other sports? That I don't know. I think it's just following the pattern of golf. You play 4 rounds or 5 rounds. It used to be 9.5 rounds. That's why, I mean, it was kind of hard to beat Ken Climo when you had to play 9 rounds, because I even was ahead after 4 rounds once. It's nearly impossible. It was nearly impossible to beat Ken after 4 rounds, but after 9.5 rounds, it was impossible for a whole decade. Age is number 58. Landon Martin taught me to get better, not overnight, and still working on it. Happy birthday, dude. Happiest birthday. You guys are so cool. Happy birthday from Sarah, Little Miss Disc Golf Mom. She's sound asleep. Love your videos. Hello, say hi to Little Miss Disc Golf. Let's see. Anybody have any questions that are interesting? Because I can dazzle you. Oh, keep up the good work. Hello, Dinko. That's my Croatia buddy. Happy birthday. Yes, this is so cool. So many people. You're an old man. I am an old man. I don't have no problem with that. I'm not teaching the Rock Hill class. Tyler Wozniak is, and he's absolutely amazing. I promise you. And see, happy birthday! Just got your book as a gift to the mother while I go through cancer treatment. Ah, dude, cancer treatment. I can't say fuck cancer because I'll get demonetized. So I won't say fuck cancer. Uh, just stay strong, dude. It's one of those things. Like I haven't been through that, but I'm at an age where like that's a thing.
Yeah, we can go to Greenland.
We can go to Greenland. Okay, yeah, I'm going to Greenland. Oh my god, I can go to Greenland.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm going to Greenland for sure. So yes, yeah, enjoyed the book, and yeah, I don't know what to say except that like I'm at an age now where it's like these become real things, like that weren't even on my mind 10 years ago or now on my mind. When I get sick now, I wonder. When you're younger, you get sick, you go, oh, I'll be fine in a couple of days. When you get older, you get sick, it crosses your mind. Is this something more than that? So I haven't been through that yet, but my heart's with you. Just kick its ass and then keep playing. Happy birthday from Texas. Thank you so much. Happy birthday from Virgo to Virgo. Last Thursday, happy birthday. Top 3 favorite movies of all time. Oh, top 3 favorite movies. That is easy. You want the PG version? No, just kidding. The 3 movies I watched the most, I kept under my bed when I was in high school. Number 1 movie, of course, it's obvious, Willy Wonka. And not the, oh my God, don't even bring up Johnny Depp. I will get so mad. Tim Burton's the biggest enemy of the human race for remaking Willy Wonka. But Willy Wonka, guys, it always changes. Oh, Princess Bride and then Pulp Fiction. It's hard to can't really go wrong with that. But it's Forrest Gump's pretty damn close too. But Willy Wonka, slam dunk, number 1. Where would you like to see Worlds to be held instead of the States? It's got to be in Finland. Has to be in Finland. Although I would love to see it at Alla Disc Golf Center because they got the course and the facilities for it in Sweden. But Finland deserves it. There's no question. Right now, check this out. If you all don't know this is going to blow your minds. Disc golf is the national sport of Finland. They're not calling it that yet, but it is. According to a recent poll, 45% of kids in Finland list disc golf as their number 1 favorite after-school activity. That doesn't mean 45% of kids play disc golf. 45% of kids in Finland say it's their favorite activity. Of the remaining 55%, a lot of them have a different favorite activity, but also disc golf. 20% of people in Finland have disc golfed. The ratio of disc golf courses per capita, if there were as many disc golf courses in Denver per capita as there are in Finland per capita, Denver would have almost 1,000 courses. So picture Denver with 1,000 courses. That's the ratio of disc golf courses per capita in Finland. So it's got to be Finland. Has to be. Favorite movie? How many countries have I played in? I mean, I'm on my 35th country in the last year. I haven't played in all of them, no. when we were backpacking around Asia, I had a backpack on, and I did have a couple discs because I had to practice throwing, but I wasn't there was no courses in some of these countries. So did I play? Oh, I threw in all of them.
No, you did play in all of them.
Did I?
Yeah.
Cambodia, Thailand, Singapore,
Indonesia.
Yeah. Malaysia.
You played in all of them.
Okay, I played in all of them. Never mind. Japan. Played in Japan. Yeah. I probably played in 30 of the countries, maybe of the 35. Honestly, though, a lot of my travels, I'm not really thinking disc golf. I'm really not. I'm trying to do the travel stuff.
I think Slovenia and Slovakia, we've only driven through, and Austria. Everywhere else you've played. So that's 4.
Right. Let's see. I gotta scroll back up. How many countries I played in?
I was trying to count how many countries you've done clinics in.
Yeah.
Because it's more than 10 now.
Yeah. I've done clinics in more than 10 countries.
Yeah.
I have students in probably 30 countries, or I've had of my online class. Yeah. Yeah. I'm global. Do I remember your, I think, one and only trip to Memphis to play the tournament at Shelby Forest Bud Hill? You should. You won by 2 strokes. So first off, I do remember coming to Memphis. I do remember playing at Shelby Forest. I remember what was interesting about this. I'm gonna date myself here because it's 1994, 3 or 4, and there was when you were driving down the road to Shelby Forest, the park. I think it's a state park. It on the sign it said disc golf. That was mind blowing back then. That the disc golf course had a sign like that it listed disc golf as one of the activities in the park. That was so unique back then. It was like, wow, I can't believe it. Yes, it was like crazy enough that I remember all these years later. Then we went out to Bud Hill, a private disc golf course, and I got to ride an ATV in the Mississippi River. It was like a foot deep, the embankment of the river. So yes, I do remember that. What's the weirdest disc lay I've ever seen? I saw a shot. Oh God, where was it? I think it was in southern Oklahoma. There's a picture of it on my Facebook page. It wasn't a shot that I threw. The weirdest disc lie I ever saw is that I watched the player throw a roller. Here's the pole, and the disc rolled up to the pole, and then just leaned on the pole. And I've never seen that before. Never seen it since. And I saw it. No, it was in Cullman. It was in Cullman, Alabama. So I don't know my Facebook page. If you search for Cullman, Alabama, if there's a post there, you'll see a picture of the disc leaning against the pole. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Happy birthday! Thank you for the clinic in Lithuania. No, I didn't get to spend as much time in Lithuania because we went to Lithuania and Latvia, and then we had to get out of Shenzhen, so we had to get into Romania, which we barely got into. Hey, y'all want to hear the crazy? I don't want to get anybody in trouble, so I'm gonna tell just a like ridiculous story. So this is gonna crack y'all up. So one of the things, the stories I've been sharing recently is that over the last several years, like because disc golf has blown up and my brand and stuff has gotten bigger, that all these things are happening to me that probably wouldn't be weird if I was a professional basketball player or a professional ball golfer. But after playing 40 some odd years in obscurity, it's weird. And like, it's weird now when I go to a restaurant and all of a sudden like a steak dinner will appear in front of me from one of the customers who doesn't even introduce themselves. Like that happened. Like people, it just like weird things that like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. So we're driving into from Romania, which is outside Shenzhen, the primary Europe area, into Serbia. And it was like we were like 7 hours from the Hungary border where we got into Romania. And the whole time we've been driving, 35 countries, we've rented cars, I've been pulled over, and I've just given them my driver's license. Now, I know there's such a thing as an international driver's license, but nobody's asked for it. Nobody said I needed it. I've crossed borders. So anyways, we get into Romania. We crossed the border from Hungary into Romania. They let me in with my regular driver's license and a passport, of course. And we get into the country. So it's probably 6 or 7 hours drive away. A week later, we're crossing into Serbia. We pull up to the border control border at Serbia, and the woman comes out and asks me for everything and passport, ID, car, insurance, proof of whatever rental. So I give her my driver's license. She goes, "No, I need your international driver's license." I said, I don't have them. This is all I have. She's like, no, no. You have to have an international driver's license. And I'm like, I don't. I mean, no one's asked me for one. She doesn't speak the best English, but we're communicating. She says, no, you have to have she's like, this is really, really bad. She says, I can't let you through into Serbia without an international driver's license. So my first thought was, well, I wanted to see Serbia, but okay, we'll spend a couple more weeks in Romania then. And she says, I can't let you back into Romania because you don't have an international driver's license. This is really bad. I don't know if she gets a supervisor. The supervisor comes out. They're trying to figure it out. Finally, we realized we can order an international driver's license online. We order it, but it's going to take 2 to 3 days to show up. So I have an order number that says I ordered it, but you have to take my word for it. But I have nothing to show you or that it was approved. And we're like, oh my God, I don't know what we're going to do. And she says, look, I don't know what to do. We had been told that one of the options was to pay a truck to put the RV on the back of the truck and drive us 6 hours across Romania back into Hungary. It's a nightmare scenario, right? So we're sitting there, and all of a sudden she comes out with a couple of the people from the back of the Border Patrol, and they got the hugest smiles on their face. And they go, oh my God, we just Googled you. They don't. There's no disc golf courses in Romania, and they're trying to get one in Serbia. There's a club in Serbia, but no permanent course yet. She's like, we just Googled you. You're like famous. You do the professional thing with the disc golf. You've won all these titles and you have world records. This is so great. We believe you. You can get in. What? She's like, yeah. And they stamped their passports. They said, yeah, we this is great. You can't come back to Romania. Promise me you won't come back. But we'll let you into Serbia now because you're famous. Swear to God that actually happened. Border Patrol let me in because I'm good at Frisbee golf. That's probably a much longer story than it needed to be, but bizarre, right? And it's 100% true story. Bruce Sisson, happy birthday. Bruce, did you hear the story from earlier? I talked about you earlier in the show, Bruce. This is the Bruce Sisson I told you about that was responsible for my most important moment in all of. If you didn't hear the story, Bruce, the story of when you introduced yourself to me when I was 11 years old and gave me some golf discs and introduced me to the Oak Grove Gophers, that's the answer to the question somebody asked when they said, what's your most important memory? Or what's your most important, best memory in disc golf? And I said, that's that moment, Bruce, when you introduced yourself to me and introduced me to the club, put me on a path that has given me the life I have today, that had you not done that, who knows if I come back and play the next day, I get into make a new friend and they're into tennis, who knows? So that moment, Bruce, that you back in 1980 was the most important moment, certainly in my disc golf career, but maybe my whole life. So thank you. I love you, Bruce. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My sponsor by Castaplast are just partners. What's my relationship with Castaplast like? Yeah, I am sponsored by them, but we have a very unique relationship. I'm not a traditional team member because I have a mixed bag, but I've done more to promote the Berg probably than any person in the world, and I've been friends with Anders forever, and we're going to probably do more things with them. I love Castaplast. I love everybody, but I have a very good relationship with Castaplast. The Thing, Princess Bride, and Can't Decide number 2. The Thing, nice. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Sup, fam? Happy birthday, had a nice day. How freaking cool is that? Let's go. Finland is the happiest country in the world. Go figure. Finland's great. My first disc was a disc from a grocery store because there weren't golf discs when I first played for the very first time. Not even heavy whammo discs. My first heavy whammo disc, my golf disc would have been whatever Bruce Sisson gave me. Probably a 70 mold and a 40 mold would be my guess. Best disc for a beginner just throwing forehands and gets it best 200 feet. First off, if you're getting 200 feet, take my online class. I'm going to use this to pitch because, I'm sorry, this is what I do. My online class, Become a Complete Disc Golfer. It's a 6-month class with an unlimited number of form reviews. You upload videos of you throwing, and my trainers who have been with me more than a year will review and make sure you're doing every step of the process right to throwing correctly. If you have a group of 3 people or 6 people or 10 people, we'll lower the price quite a bit as group rates. So if you have 3, 6, or 10 people, message me and I can give you the details on that. Or you can come to Scotland in a couple of weeks for my training retreat. So yeah. So best disc for throwing. I mean, any disc with a high fade. I mean, I love the Felon, the Firebirds. Going to be great as an overstable disc. I'm going to go Felon. How's the tooth and teeth situation? Look. So I have to go back. So I need to go back and finish my tooth surgery because, see, they're actually, a couple of them are fake. These are temporary teeth because I did a bunch of work on my sinuses. They had to build those back up. They put the pieces in to install actual real replacement teeth. Except I kind of ran out of money. So I don't have the money to go finish my surgery in Bangkok. So, but I will. I'll figure it out. So we're planning on doing the rest of our surgeries over there, but got to make some money first. Lightning P38. If I was a professional wrestler, what would my finishing move be and what would I call it? Okay, so first off, I do pro wrestling. I don't know if you're asking that because you know, but I'm a heel manager. I've done a whole ton of indie shows. I've wrestled. I'm a bump taking heel manager. When I met Adriana, one of the first things I showed her, because this is right before COVID, and I go, if you're going to travel with me, there's something you're going to have to know about me. And I showed her a picture of me, of my back with the outline of a steel chair on it, just gigantic welt of because from a chair shot. But I never had a finishing move because I've never won, because it was never even I was never going to be a regular wrestler. It was more like I do like spot shows where like I just I'll show up and I'll be like the famous disc golfer here to sign autographs, who turns out to be an arrogant ass who the top babyface comes and beats the crap out of. So my finishing move is getting beaten up and helping the babyface get over. So I don't have a move, but I should probably figure one out. And then my move as a manager is to,
it's got to be something sidearm.
Hit my opponent with the belt. Hit the person I'm managing's opponent with the belt. Hey, want to hear a funny story? You all aren't going to find this funny unless you're into pro wrestling. If you're into pro wrestling, you're going to think this is maybe not funny, but so I'm managing Cowboy James Barrett, and he was the light heavyweight champion for Colorado Springs Championship Wrestling. I'm his manager, and we were having a match against the most popular wrestler in all of Colorado Springs, nicest, sweetest guy in the entire world. He runs the wrestling school in Colorado Springs. He's just amazing. And he was going to try to beat Cowboy. He was going to try to beat my guy. And all he had to do, forget the name of the match, but he had to go just get in. All he had to do was just hit something in the corner. It didn't require a pinfall. He could just hit all four corners. I forget. Anyways, point is, he was going to win the match, and I couldn't let him take the title from Cowboy. So I took the championship belt, which I was holding, and I whacked him across the head, knocked him out cold. And then actually Cowboy pinned him and won the match. So I jump into the ring. He's laying on his back, and I look down, and I see something I'd never seen before. Sorry, I've only seen once before in my entire life. He's on his back, and I can see his heartbeat spraying blood out of his forehead. There was a grommet on the championship belt, and I filleted him. I put about this long of a slice across his forehead. It was this long and probably a quarter of an inch wide, and it looked like someone just took I literally filleted. I saw blood, and his head was in a pool of blood in the ring on his back, and I was completely mortified. But the worst thing you can do in wrestling is not take advantage of something like that. So as I'm watching his heartbeat in his forehead, I drop down to my knees and I start laughing and pointing at him and telling him, like, this is what you get for messing with Cowboy. And then I went into the back and was just devastated that I hurt this guy. He wasn't even mad. He saw exactly why it happened. It was an accident. It was nobody's fault. But I actually drove him to the hospital. And then the funniest part of all was we get to the hospital. I'm driving the guy that I just filleted. We get to the hospital and the doctor says, "Oh, how'd this happen?" And he's kind of laughing. He points at me. He goes, "Yeah, he hit me over the head." And the doctor says, "I need to call the police." And we're like, "Wait, what do you mean?" "No, we're pro wrestling. It's, it's an accident. It happens." The doctor says, "I'm required by law. You can't choose not to press charges on an assault," or whatever it was. He says, "I'm required by law to call the police and you're going to get arrested." And he was serious. And then we ended up talking him out of it. But anyways, yeah, I know that's a really long, boring story. If anybody's still listening, I'm sorry. But so my finishing move, if I have one, is flaying anyone who tries to beat my.
Your finishing move should be whatever Victor Malfronte calls the sidearm, because it's a freaking awesome name.
Yes, I'll have to figure it out.
The Macho Two-Finger Sideliner.
Yeah, the Macho Two-Finger Sidearm. I'll come up. I need
That's what it is.
But I refuse to win. There's no way I win. I think it's so insulting. I'm not going to be one of these idiots that like insults the lineage of the belt by ever winning anything. So I don't plan on ever winning. Thank you for Simon coming out to the clinic. Need to bow and get back to work. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. Thank you. Still blows my mind when I see a sign for disc golf. In Kansas, I've seen advertising on the course. Okay, so speaking of signs for disc golf, you know what I want to do really badly? And I swear I'm going to do this. Should I tell them about the billboards? No, we'll surprise y'all. Never mind. But I'm going to do it.
You got to keep something supposed to.
Okay, I got to keep something. Yeah, no, I'm going to do something that's going to be mind-blowing. Best food I've eaten lately. What's the best food we've eaten lately? Oh, it's easy. The best food. I thought it was Malaysian street food or Indonesian seafood, right? Or like, eating sushi in Japan or, no. Nope, none of these. It's cheese in a tube. Here, I will show you. I still have a bunch of these left. I bought 50 of them probably. I probably bought 50 of these when I was in Sweden. It's cheese in a tube with like 50. There's like probably 20 different flavors. This one is shrimp and Swiss. But yeah, it's tube cheese. I'm addicted. I'm like, seriously, like I have no idea what I'm gonna do when we run out. Like, what am I gonna do for tube cheese? Oh, this is bad. I don't want to think about it.
Have it ordered.
Happy birthday. Yep. All the best. Thank you. Happy birthday, my friend. Playing long distance catch with you and your MVP. Oh, nice. I love it. Thank you, sir. I will try to inspire. I'll try not to do anything stupid and let everybody down. You never know. I'm human. I've had a lifetime of making mistakes and doing stupid things. So I'll try not to this time. I'm older. I haven't done anything stupid in a long time. So Dallas, where Bruce is awesome. Hello, Little Miss Disc Golf will message you later. Hello. Scarface is the movie. Still putt with a Berg. No, it's not. Bergs aren't automatically bad putters. It's just if you're asking me to recommend, that's not the one I'd recommend. I would choose a beveled putter from Castoplast. But it doesn't mean it can't be a good putter. Beth Corey says, "What's your favorite course that I've ever played?" It's easily it's Oak Grove Park, the world's first frisbee golf course. That's where I started. I played my first round of frisbee golf on the world's first permanent frisbee golf course when it was the only course in the entire world. I got to start when I was a little kid at this course with all my idols at that time. When I was a little kid, I didn't look up to the Dodgers or the Lakers or the Rams. Like, I looked up to the Oak Grove Gophers. Those were my heroes, my sports heroes, my father figures. Now, having said that, if you're asking me like what probably the best courses, there's so many good courses. Like there's a lot of good courses that have pros and cons that would not pros and cons. They all have like pros and bigger pros, but there's so many good courses that are just amazing. But I think when you put the whole package together, course and facility, I'm going to go with Ala Disc Golf Center in Sweden. I think that Eagles Crossing in the U.S. is very special also, but I got to go with Ala Disc Golf Center. It is. I think it's going to wind up being like the most special destination disc golf place in the world. I think that's. I know the stuff they're working on. I think that's what it's going to be. Your forehand's pretty bad. Take my online class. I'll make a quick announcement. My online disc golf class, Become a Complete Disc Golfer. It's not just videos. It's and tutorials and drills. It's a process that I've developed after doing this teaching for a decade, where you will be constantly uploading videos yourself, getting professional reviews to make sure you've learned this step properly before you add this layer. It's a step-by-step process that works better than anything in the sport to get good at disc golf. And if you have a group of 3 or 6 or 10, I've just started offering a group rate, and actually a pretty substantial group rate, because I just want everybody to do this. So I would say for sure, if you have a group of 3, that's probably the biggest break. Message me, and like I think it's just message me for details, but it's not like $10 off. I mean, it's significant. So take my class. Have I ever been hit by a disc? Oh my God, come on. That's a great story. Oh, which one? Oh, Birdman. Oh, the one from where oh yeah. I got a fantastic story. So I'm running the not running, but I was at the Amateur Disc Golf Championships, AmWorlds, in Kansas City in 98 or 99. I think it was 99. And I was there because I was doing some demos, some demonstrations for Discraft. And one of the things I ran was a speed gun challenge. Crazy as this sounds, like the technology of having a speed gun, a radar gun, was like amazing. We got a hold of a radar gun, and so we got a bunch of minis printed up that had a picture of me and from one of the posters Discraft made of me, and then it said I threw, and it had a blank line at AmWorlds, blank miles per hour. And the idea is that we had a soccer goal, someone behind it with the radar gun shooting the throws, and after you threw whatever the number was, I would write it on the mini, and you'd get the mini that says how fast you threw. So I'm standing there like an idiot, right next to the soccer goal, and people are throwing from like 10 meters away, like 20, 30 feet away, and the person grip locked, and it hit me straight across the chest, full speed, and from, I don't know, 15 feet away, just straight into my chest, full speed. And we got a radar gun on it, 67 miles per hour, which is basically like a 400-foot throw. So they actually got the speed of this that hit me. And what was so funny is it hit me, and from my neck down to my stomach, all the way out to my arm, like it turned black and blue, and then it turned like yellow and orange. Like it was like getting hit by a truck. It was so funny. So anyways, yeah, 67 miles per hour. Like no one's ever been hit with a disc and knows exactly how fast it was. Is there one key to throwing a solid forehand? I'm trying to, just can't do it. Okay, Jason, please forgive me for my answer, because I'm going to have to pitch you on this, but there's like, I'm not just trying to sell something. I mean, if you follow me, you know that I don't just do that, but there isn't one thing. Like, that's the thing. If there was just one thing, everybody would have that shot. Everybody would have every shot. It's like, what's the one thing that makes you throw farther? Like, if there's a video that says the one trick to throwing farther, it's clickbait bullshit, because there's not one thing. You have to put the whole thing together. So the one key is to take my online class. I mean, you can come to Scotland for my multi-day retreat in a couple weeks. Also, you're invited to do that. Message me for details if anybody wants to take a 3-day training retreat in Scotland in September. I got a few spots left. Message me. But the online class, I have a process step by step. By the way, it's a 6-month class. It's a rolling 6 months. The next class is sidearm. So I'm doing the sidearm class. I got a class tonight, utility shots, and then I'm going to my very next class is sidearm. So if you want to do the sidearm portion of my online class, You can sign up now, or you can wait 6 months for it to come back. So take the class. I promise you, 100% guaranteed promise, you'll have a sidearm after the class. Nobody doesn't have the ability to throw that shot afterwards. I'm the best in the world at teaching disc golf, and the process I developed after a lifetime of teaching, including failing at trial and error methods of teaching many times, but 30 years later, like, I got this thing down pat. Nobody leaves not having a sidearm. Nobody. So if you take the class, you'll have a sidearm. But there isn't just one thing. If there was, like, I don't know what to say. There's not. Happy birthday, real quick. Had a break at work. Thank you, sir. That's insane. I had no idea you were a heel manager. Yeah, I got videos, tons of videos that I had to take down, my wrestling videos, because if you're a wrestling person, you understand that I'm just trying to get heat. If you're not a wrestling fan, I say horrible, horrible things on the microphone, because my whole thing was, give me a microphone and I will piss off every single person in the building. I like my hero is Bubba Ray Dudley on the mic. It gives you an idea. Like it's like I don't goof around, playful, the Miz heat. Like, I'm vicious. Hey, I'll tell you a funny wrestling story though. Maybe it's not a funny wrestling story, but nobody's gonna oh God, it's okay. I'm gonna tell the story. I'm sorry if this is boring to you. It's the last wrestling story I'll tell you. But in wrestling, the idea is you're trying to the short of it is, half the people there are trying to make everybody there hate them. Half the wrestlers everybody likes. And the whole idea is, the more you get the people to hate you, the more pleasure they're going to get out of it when the person you like beats up the person you hate. So the more they hate you, the more of a cathartic release you get when they get their comeuppance. By the way, they don't always get their comeuppance. Sometimes the bad guy wins. That's why you got to buy a ticket next week, because you're like, oh, dude was so close to getting them. That's wrestling 101. But that's the goal, right? Making people hate you. And everyone knows wrestling's predetermined. There's no secret anymore. That there never really was, but everyone knows the outcome's predetermined. But the best way to get heat, which is the wrestling term for getting people pissed at you, is if you can blur the line between what's real and what's not. Like, if the audience says, look, I know this was all predetermined, but that was real, or what that I believe that. All right, so that's the whole idea. That's the goal, biggest goal you can get. So I was brought into a new wrestling organization. I was brought in because I was going to be the investor that invested in the organization and saved the organization, and I was going to be everybody's hero. But then it turns out I'm a bad guy who's trying to screw over the popular wrestlers, the baby faces, and it's an old trope in wrestling, but it works. So that was the whole goal. So I get brought out, and I get brought. The show hasn't started yet, so it's still believable. And we had this all set up. This was all my idea. I'm very proud of this one. So we're in just like this gymnasium. I don't know, 100 some odd people watching. And they make the announcements before. I want to thank our sponsors, and we're donating money to this organization, and thank you this. And then the guy in the microphone, and the show hasn't started. This show, the show wasn't going to happen tonight. The only reason we're here tonight is because of a generous donation from Scott Stokely. I don't mean to embarrass you, Scott, but thank you so much for saving the show tonight. And the crowd erupts. Everybody's cheering, right? By the way, the best way to get heat and make people hate you is to start by making them like you and betray them. If you start off as a bad guy, it's not as effective as if you make them like you first and then let them down. So the entire gymnasium is just clapping. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott. And everybody's cheering for him. And I'm like, oh, thanks, everybody. And then the announcer says, hey, can we do a quick interview with you before the show starts? Yeah, come on, get him up here. Everybody's cheering for me. So I get into the ring. So I'm up there standing in the ring, and I'm being interviewed. And the announcer says, so how long have you been a wrestling fan? Oh, I've been a wrestling fan for years. And right during the interview, remember, there's like probably 100 or 200 people in the, there to watch the show. All of a sudden, my phone rings, my cell phone, and I grab it. I'm like, I'm sorry, I got to take this. And then so I go over and I lean up against the ropes and I start talking on my phone. And everybody in the audience is like, yay, wait, what? You can't take a phone call. And now he's holding up the whole show. Like, wait, you can't do that. And I just sat there, and it's the most cringy thing ever. But I just sat there on my phone until all the people that were cheering, next thing you know, they were throwing drinks at me and they were cussing me out. And I was telling them to be quiet because I couldn't hear my phone call. I don't know. If you're not a wrestling fan, you probably won't appreciate how amazing it was. But it's like I call it white trash performance art. Basically, what you're doing is you're taking 150 people, getting them to feel one way, and then manipulating them to feeling the way you want them to feel. It's really fun. Anyways, after that, they hated me. If you're not a wrestling person, that was probably the most boring story with no payoff. But if you're a wrestling person, you're probably like, that's pretty good. Best advice for newer disc golfers your age. Yeah, learn proper technique. You have to have proper technique or else you're going to get hurt. That's a reality. Your body moves. Well, nothing's as efficient or as nothing works as well as it did when you were younger. But you can get away with stuff when you're younger. Like, think of it this way. Think about it. You're a machine. You have all these moving parts on the machine. All of the moving parts, all your joints, right, for example, have a range that they can move in, but they have a much more narrow range where they want to move. It's where you're strongest. It's where the joint is just configured properly. It's where the tendons aren't being stretched unnecessarily to, like there's a way it's a machine. It's a hinge. That hinge it's meant to move a certain way. And if a hinge moves the way it's supposed to move, like it can last forever, kind of, right? But if you take a hinge, and let's say you take a hinge and you put pressure on it to the side, it'll still move on the machine. But if it's not aligned properly, it will start to wear. It'll start to grind. It'll feel the effects, and eventually that hinge will break down. I don't know if I explained that well, but this is basically the way our bodies work. When you throw with proper technique, this is why I'm like, I swear by my class, I'm 54 years old, injury-free. I throw sidearm farther than anybody in the world still, or at least damn close. No injuries, no pain. When your body moves the way it's meant to move for your body, it'll last a long time. With improper technique, you get sore, you get injured, things hurt. You're not to mention you don't play as well. So best thing you can do is have proper form. Number one above everything else. It'll let you play the rest of your life. By the way, not just because of injuries, you're also going to throw farther, more consistent, score better. No way, that story actually really cool. Thank you. You're a wrestling fan, you have some bias. Yeah, no non-wrestling fans understand that. My thing about being, and I haven't done this since COVID, we kind of had, and I started traveling and had to stop, but like I really am a nice guy. Like I try to be nice to everybody and kind and honest. It's a wonderful outlet where I get to be the opposite of that. Where I get to just be this horrible, horrible person. It's really fun, and I don't know how to explain why it's fun to do that. But it is. And the thing about pro wrestling, everybody's there for the show. The more they boo you, if you're a heel, boos and cheers and people getting pissed off, that is applause. That is the audience's way of applauding you for doing your job. So you're not actually making people hate you, kind of. Some of them kind of do if you do a good job. But the more they have a problem with you, that's applauding you. So I don't know, I love it. Puppy, let's see. Tube cheese is your childhood. Yes. Oh, they have. Oh, yeah. We tried the caviar. We have the caviar in the fridge, don't we? Yeah, we have caviar in a tube. Here, will you grab it? Just so I'm building credibility. Visit your family from what to go see. Any courses? Yeah, go see Ala Disc Golf Center. It's amazing here. There we go. There's caviar in a tube.
And that's reindeer.
Oh my God. And this is reindeer in a tube. Dude, Sweden's got the tube thing down pat. I bet their toothpaste is awesome. This is actual reindeer in a tube. Yeah, this is reindeer. This is reindeer in a tube.
But you can get regular stuff too, like hummus.
Hummus in a tube.
It's just like so backpack friendly. I think
Yeah.
I can figure out how to keep it around.
You can order cheese in the States. Just Google it. About $9 a tube. So expensive. I have a favorite NFL team. I mean, I'm from Colorado. I like the Broncos, but I haven't watched sports in a long time. It's so busy. West Berg, why is it so special? The reason the Berg is so special is because it's a terrible flying disc. Terrible flying disc means it's easier to predict. By the way, terrible flying, lack of glide. It's very consistent flight.
By the way, do you need a snack?
No,
Because
no.
I have something for you.
You have a snack for me?
Yeah.
So the idea.
Happy birthday.
Oh no, I got a birthday. I got a birthday cake. This is my birthday. I just realized.
It's a protein bar.
So it's a birthday cake protein bar. Thank you.
With no sugar.
With no sugar, of course. But the Berg doesn't fly, which means if you throw the Berg right, it lands by the basket. If you throw it way too hard, it goes like 3 meters long. Because of the lack of glide, it has a small margin for error. Happy birthday. Thank you all so much for this. You watch recent tournament stuff, you notice that you throw mostly with your sidearms on that course. So you watch, he said, Hui Shen says he followed the tutorials, but mostly throw sidearm. It depends on the course I'm on. The last tournament I played, I shot the hot round for the tournament. I didn't finish great. I finished like 15th or something like that. But I mean, it was a stacked field, a good player. So 15th was still like $500 or something. Like it was still, there was still a big field. Anyways, the course was, I think I threw 13 backhands on the course. And then all the approach shots on the par fours and par fives, just about, I think all but one of them were backhand throws, backhand lines. So if the course is there, I'll throw backhands. But if I have a choice either way, I'll probably lean sidearm. All right, Tita Galdi, thank you, Tita. Thank you for the hug. Mike Molnar, happy birthday. Oh, thank you so much, Mike. I wrote about Mike in my autobiography. He's one of the originals from the 80s, the early 80s in Southern California disc golf. So Mike has been there basically since the beginning also. I saw a video that Caliber is my favorite course. That might have been hyperbolic superlative. Where would you rank it now on your list of favorite courses? It's really tough because I've played all the DGPT courses just about, and I've played all the Euro Tour courses just about, and there's so many good courses. I would say that Caliber is, it's still absolutely positively in my top 10, possibly in the top 5 still. Caliber's unbelievable. It's at the north tip of Idaho. It's like 2 bergs and a felon away from Canada, just about. It's up above Sandpoint. And it's a private disc golf course. And the second course is being built, but it's unbelievable. Have you signed a petition to say Stafford Woods? Course in jeopardy. What? Yes, we did. Happy birthday. Hi, Susie. Thank you, Susie Horn. Jason Holiday, no worries. You're coming to the class. Does it cost extra to have no rain in Scotland? Yeah, I know. Well, it's not the worst time of year, so we should be fine. There is some bad times a year to come to Scotland, but this is not one of them. Can't promise anything, but it should be good. I don't need a mic to do that, Scott. Mike. I'm missing the reference. Let's see. Oh my God. Did someone just send $50? It says 50.00. Is that what that is?
Super chat? Yeah.
Someone, oh my God. Thank you.
Hit the button.
Oh, Happy birthday from Sweden, Kim Erickson. Wow, that's unbelievable. I will take it and I'll put it to good use. I said I was almost broke. We are almost broke, aren't we?
Getting there.
We're getting pretty close. I'm still committed to giving away all my prize money, though. I'm not backing down from that. I will figure out a way to make it work. Thank you so much, Kim. It means the world to me. Thank you. Everything I make for my classes and everything else just allows me to do all the stuff giving away my prize money to different organizations, and all the stuff I do, I'm able to do because of the money I make with the business. Thank you very much, Stefan Carlson, also known as Stefan Fun till my daddy took the T-bird away. Carlson was what I heard that at the U.S. Open in La Mirada. Stefan's a world overall frisbee champion, or U.S. overall frisbee champion for sure. I think he also won double disc court with Thomas Palmer at the Swedish Nationals. I'm not getting that wrong. One of the best to ever do it. All right, I try to give everybody worth every penny, folks. Yeah, anybody that. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for the endorsement. Pete Parsons says 100% worth every penny, folks, for the online class. Remember the online class? I'm offering now group discounts if you have 3, 6, or 10 players that want to do the online class together. It's significant, this discounts, because it's for groups, right? So message me for details, and I'm happy to talk to you about that. Thank you, Pete. Happy birthday, legend. You're the man. Thank you. Blurring the lines definitely makes pro wrestling much more entertaining. Yeah, I hate the modern product. Can't stand the modern product. I don't watch modern wrestling. I listen to Jim Cornette talk about. That's how I follow I follow wrestling by listening to Jim Cornette right now, and then listen to Just Shoot interviews and watch old matches. It'll come back, I hope. Thank you much. Thank you all. The happy birthday. It's just amazing. Am I superstitious? If I have certain clothes you play well, do I wear them the day after? Okay, Marcus, I will tell you a trick. So no, I'm not superstitious. I'm actually a card-carrying member of the American Society of Skeptics. I don't believe in supernatural, paranormal, or pseudoscientifical. So no, I don't believe in any of that stuff. What I am, though, is always cognizant of the fact that I could be susceptible to having things in my head that could distract me. For instance, if I happen to wear the same socks and then I wear them at another tournament and I win, and then another tournament and I win, for instance, I don't even want it in my head. So what I do is, if I ever recognize something like that hey, the last 3 times I wore this shirt, I won, I will purposely not wear that shirt again to make sure that I win without that shirt. That's very important to me. Like, I got to make sure that I don't have superstitions. That also means if I was, for example, and I really do this, which is probably almost superstitious when I do this, but if I do something and I have a bad performance or something bad, I will purposely do that again to make sure I'm not connecting it to something in my head. So I don't believe in any of that stuff, but I have to be always aware of the fact that I'm human, and we are so susceptible to stupid biases. Like, we're all like, nobody's above the placebo effect. Nobody's above confirmation bias. Nobody's above any of these mind traps. So I have to, like, purposely try to avoid them. All right, just got back from around. Your shoulder is absolutely wrecked. About to join Disc Golf Strong. I love Disc Golf Strong. It's a combination. Proper technique is absolutely positively going to help you. Being just in good shape is going to help you. But Disc Golf Strong has my 100% full endorsement. Seth Muncie is the most knowledgeable person in the sport on trying to make you have help you have a healthy body in those things specific to disc golf. It's not generally just a health class. It's about the mobility and the stability and the things that will help you. So yeah, Disc Golf Strong is going to help. Hello, Gwen Holiday. Happy birthday. It's your birthday also. You're 43. Oh, well, happy birthday. And by the way, it's also Brody Smith's birthday. And Michael Jackson. You probably knew the Michael Jackson part. Riley McFarland, happy birthday. Give 50s the people's elbow. You got to get the Swedish caviar. I did. Let's see. It's amazing meeting in Skellefteå. Thank you so much. Yeah, Skellefteå was amazing. I will definitely go back. Any disc golf rules I think should be revised. Yes, there's a few of them. I don't understand. We just mentioned Skellefteå. I was in Skellefteå. I threw a sidearm roller through a double mando that made it through the double mando. Then it rolled around and then went behind, but it had passed through the double mando. It went behind the double mando and then rolled up in front of the double mando again. But it made the double mando and it was counted as a miss. I will never understand. And by the way, I don't think there's a player on tour that understands this rule. Why, if you make the double mando, how can you make the double mando and then still miss it? Like, this makes no sense. So that one has got to be changed. Not just it happened to me. Like, that's got to be changed. I don't understand. All 4 players have to keep score on their cards now. That doesn't make any sense. It's like, here's this thing nobody likes doing, so let's make all 4 people do it. That doesn't make sense to me. Now, the argument is maybe, it's unfair that only 1 or 2 people have to do it. Well, guess what? It wasn't a problem before, right? Some people don't mind. They volunteer. If no one volunteers, the first person on the card does it. There's things that they're not broken. You don't need to fix something that's not broken. I don't know. I'm not on the rules committee, so maybe I'm missing something, but I don't know what was broken with that rule. I was on the Pro Tour all last year, and no one had a problem with the scoring. Getting to the hole, how long before the tee time?
10 minutes.
Now you got to check in 10 minutes before you tee off, or else you're officially late. I don't understand that. Again, like, what was broken needed fixing there, right? I like I said, I'm not saying I disagree with the rules. If someone explained to me why those rules why they were changed, then maybe I'll go, oh, I didn't think about that. But I think a lot of times, though, like if something's not broke, you don't have to fix it. Like the double mando rule. If you make it to the double mando, you've made the mando. Like that, there was nothing broken. So yeah, I would change that one for sure. Happy birthday, Kim Erickson. Oh, that's a happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you. Happy birthday from Poland. We loved Poland. I wish we could stay more time. Oh, thank you very much, Julianne. Coming back to Texas anytime soon? Nope, not going to come back to the U.S. for a little while. What was my first encounter with the Scandinavian disc golf course? Helsingborg, Sweden, 1985. I went there as a junior to the WIFDIF World Championships, and I was leading by 4 strokes with 1 round to go and lost it to some Finnish kid. So I got caught and beaten. That's okay. Joe Santer, love your work with Cole. Considering signing up for my putting course soon. Well, it's not. You can't just sign up for the putting course. It's for the whole class. It's a 6-month class, but I recommend signing up for everything. You can pay. By the way, you can pay month to month in the class. Not if you're doing the group discounts, because because the logistics. If you're doing that, but it's so much cheaper.
6 months.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, yeah, it's not month to month. It's like you don't. Yeah, it's a 6-month class, but we can set it up so the payments come out 6 payments over 6 months. Yeah, it's not just 1 month though; it's the whole class. But if you're doing the discount, then it's just 1 payment. But it's not that much. Like it's with a group of 10, it's like 50% off. Listening to my autobiography. Thank you very much for listening to my autobiography. Marika, thanks for your clinic at Kiviko. That gives me a lot of thinking. It helps a lot for your gaming. You're very welcome. Thank you for coming out. How far do you throw the Berg? I see you at the Berg only event. How far do I throw the Berg? Like 100? I think I can still like maybe 110 meters, maybe like 360,
350 feet.
350 feet, maybe. Yeah, I can throw it pretty dang far. Like I'll throw it on a 100-meter hole, maybe 100 meters. Probably, let's say 100 meters, 330 feet. Like, I can throw the Berg pretty dang far. What's the next country to get hit by disc golf mania? Ooh, that's a good question. The next country to blow up. And I'm going to leave out like Norway and Sweden because it's really doing well there. And I'm going to leave out Australia, and I'm going to leave out New Zealand and Japan because they actually have a good scene. It needs to get bigger, but they're doing pretty good there. I'll leave Canada out. So the next country to get hit by disc golf mania. I've heard there's a massively thriving disc golf scene in Medellin, Colombia. That's just Medellin, but Colombia apparently has a huge flying disc scene. They have a huge freestyle scene. The freestyle world championships are coming up there. So I think Colombia is going to be on the map soon. I think, how about, let's go Serbia. Right?
Yay, Serbia.
We're in Serbia right now, and we love Serbia. So I'm going to say the next place is going to blow up, or just the Balkans in general. Serbia, Montenegro, Bosnia, Croatia has already got a scene, but they're going to get bigger. So I would say this part of the country down here is primed to boom. Thank you for all the happy birthdays. Happy birthday, youngster. Youngster, that's so funny. You just turned 44, listening, trying to fix my mower so I can mow before we head to Worlds. Keep rocking. Let's see. Oh, I missed somebody. If you made it through the Mando, that should be it. Thank you. Right? It just makes no sense. I mean, it's like basically if there's a rule where like 100% of the players are like, that makes no sense, then I don't know if that's necessarily the best rule. Any predictions on Worlds? Yeah. I went ahead and said Kristen and Calvin. But I mean, that's not exactly making a big leap. I mean, Calvin can win any tournament he plays, and Kristen's playing the best golf in the world right now. But I'm also not surprised. There's like, if they don't win, I'm not surprised. There's so many good players in both fields. Happy birthday from Orobro. So Orobro was the one outside. Right after Boros.
No, it's up by Shalifta. It's the one on the way back south when we passed through there.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. Thank you very much for the birthday wishes. All right. So I think I haven't had dinner yet.
We're not having dinner in class shortly.
And I have an online class in a little bit. So I need to get going, everybody. Last thing I'm going to leave you all with, couple things. Number one, I know it's short notice, but I have my multi-day training retreat, something new I'm just starting to do. It's a destination disc golf retreat. This is going to be, I think, the last 2 weekends in September.
Yeah.
Last 2 weekends in September in Edinburgh, Scotland. It's a fairly big trip from the US. It's not a big trip at all in the UK, or I mean in Europe. It's like 79 euros to fly there. But it's a 3-day training retreat. The first day is, you can almost call it optional. We're not training that day, but we will play a round of golf at Bluebell Disc Golf Course and go to Edinburgh Castle. Part of the idea of the retreat is that we're doing activities besides just disc golf based on the area. And then over the weekend, it's going to be 2 intense days, full days working on your throw. Every part of your throw, backhand, sidearm, putting. The same thing I've done hundreds of full-day seminars all over the U.S. That's what this is, except it's 2 days. So we'll get the golf both days at Bluebell Disc Golf Course, and also when we do that, working on strategy and disc selection, things like that, and getting to play. But also we'll have more time to work on the game, on the course. I've limited these to 4 people instead of 6. I was doing either 6 or 7 people at my full day seminars, but because it's a bigger trip and a bigger investment to come to this, I wanted to make it even more personal. If you come to this weekend seminar in Scotland, you're going to show up one type of disc golfer and you're going to leave another type of disc golfer. Like, you just will be better. You're going to be reducing injuries. You're going to be throwing farther. You're going to be making putts. Like, this is what I do. I mean, I've said this at every clinic I've ever done. I'm not arrogant about any part of my life. I'm not cocky. I'm not arrogant. That's not who I am, except when I'm talking about teaching disc golf. I am incredibly arrogant about how I teach this game because I've developed a method of teaching that works. So the first way you can learn is come to my the retreat in Scotland in a few weeks. And there's only a few spots left. So I hope if you message me if you want information on that. The second way is my online Become a Complete Disc Golfer class. It's a 6-month class. It's not just videos and drills to work on. It's an unlimited number of form reviews. I'll be giving you a step-by-step process, just like the seminars, but you'll be uploading videos. I have trainers that'll be reviewing your videos, giving you feedback. You'll make changes, upload more videos. And something new I'm doing now is if you have a group of 3, 6, or 10, message me and we will have a discounted rate for if you have a larger group. So that's what I recommend everybody does. And then join my Discord. And go to scottstokely.net. There's a link to the Discord. All right, I think we have to go. And Jacob and Eric from Cambodia say happy birthday. Tell them thank you so much. Oh, the clinic from Prague was inspiring. Thank you. Cole Redon for the win. Cole could easily win. All right. Bill Vaughn says hi, and hi, Adriana. 300 US is like 1,000 Canadian. Yes, 300 US is the online class for 6 months, which is $50 a month. But if you, we're not. If you get a group of 3, 6, or 10, I'm not taking like 10% off. It's a major discount. Just message me. I'll send you information, but it can be even quite a bit less than that. I mean, if you want to get better at disc golf, it's the best way in the sport. All right, 58 yesterday. Nice. You went to work as roadies for a wrestling show in Newfoundland. Dang, that's amazing. When you were 18, you did that. Wrestling in Canada has a very rich history, but you don't hear about Newfoundland wrestling. There was obviously Calgary, obviously, and then there was a big scene in Montreal. But and Toronto, of course, but I didn't know there was you never hear about Newfoundland. That's cool. All right. Thank you, everybody. Good night, everybody. Message me if you want information on my online class or my full day retreats or my multi-day retreats. Thank you all for joining me today. Had a great day.